Hey, we're back. We're joined on the phone today by actress AJ Michalka. She's from Schooled and the Goldbergs. She plays Lainey Lewis, also a pretty successful music career as well. AJ, how's it going today?
Hi, Dustin. I'm good. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you so much for joining me.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Well, I am excited for the new season of Schooled. I wanted to ask you about that, of course, and how it's been for you, taking that role of Lainey Lewis from the Goldbergs to School. I mean, I know you started off kind of as a minor character, but eventually became a main one, and now you got your own show.
I know. It's kind of insane. This character's come a long way. I was, just a guest star in the beginning and then became a recurring, and then, the character really took off in the relationship with Barry, and so I became a regular, and then she graduated and dropped out of college, so I was out of the show for a bit, and now I'm back with the new one. It's been a roller coaster, that's for sure.
Well, I know it's not always a guarantee that, a spin-off will be successful, but obviously Schooled is well received. What did you think when you first found out you were going to be moving to the new show?
I was pretty shocked, to be honest. There were inklings that a spin-off was in the works and that it was definitely being considered. I didn't really know originally that it would kind of be centered around Lainey. They obviously tried kind of a special that took place in the 90s that was aired one night, and it happened to do really, really well. And then from there, they kind of reformatted it and reconfigured it to really kind of have Lainey at the hub, and then around me is, Coach Meller and Glasgow and this new character, CB. And I think the show really works. I think it's really funny, and I'm glad that, people from the Goldbergs, world have received it so well, because I love that show, and I'm honored that our show gets to follow behind it. I kind of think it's a great hour of television that people can really enjoy every Wednesday night. I'm happy to be a part of it.
Awesome. Yeah, I definitely am a huge fan of the Goldbergs, and Schooled is, kind of has the same feel, but it's definitely its own show as well. So it's great that both are, back to back. You can just hang out and watch them both.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's exactly right. I love that. I think it's an hour of television that a lot of people need in life.
Well, AJ, I wanted to ask you, as far as, preparing for the shows, they obviously have, different themes or nods to the eras. I know you missed the 80s, and you were somewhat young in the 90s, so how do you prepare for that? Do you kind of have to go back and study up, or?
I do. If we're referencing something that I'm like, oh gosh, I really need catching up on that, I'll go watch the film. Like Dangerous Minds just premiered, and I hadn't seen that really ever before. I'm trying to think if I ever saw it maybe when I was a kid or younger, but I was like, gosh, I don't think I know this movie. And so I watched that. You have to, there's not a crazy amount of research to do, in the sense that, we're not making a show that's based on, world history. However, you do want to know what you're talking about when you're going into these episodes. And Dangerous Minds I was not familiar with. So it's fun to go back and watch these like 90s classics that were kind of pinnacle points of, pop culture history or film history. A lot of the music I already definitely know, when it's referenced, a lot of the songs. But I was a 90s kid. Even though I was really young, I was born in the 90s. So I do feel a connection to the fashion and the music and the film. But yeah, there's definitely references where I'm like, oh, I gotta catch up on that. We're actually doing a Rudy episode, which is one of my favorite movies, and that I'm very familiar with. So there's definitely times where I'm like, okay, yep, I'm in. This is awesome. I know this.
Excellent. Yeah, I wanted to ask you if there was maybe a movie or something from the 90s you were hoping to tackle here, maybe in an upcoming season, or maybe this season. I don't know if you can give any spoilers.
Gosh, I would love to do. Man, there's so many. I definitely can give spoilers in the sense that this Wednesday, very soon from now, we're doing a kind of a tribute to Friends, and it's called "I'll Be There for You," the episode, and it's really sweet, and it's really centered around Meller's dating life, and I end up taking him on a speed dating night. So he's just really just trying to find a girl that's going to suit him, and he goes about it in, ridiculous Meller fashion, and Lainey kind of has to reel him in. So I'm glad we're doing an ode to Friends, because that show is really important to me and super important to television. And there's definitely films where I'm like, okay, these are standout films that would be really fun to do, but they also have to match, the tone of the show. I would love to do like a Reservoir Dogs, a nod to that, like a 90s Tarantino moment. But we also are in a very specific comedy, a genre that
Sure.
that has to lend itself organically to a movie like that. But that's where the writers are really smart about how they place these 90s movies in the scripts.
And again, Schooled is on now, the new season here on Wednesday nights. And I love that I know you're an accomplished musician. We've actually had Haley Aranti on the show as well. It's great you guys are able to, make your music part of the characters on the shows.
I know, isn't that great? It's really special. I mean, it's neat that her and I happen to do both, and she's so talented, and throughout the Goldbergs, we've been able to really kind of showcase our voices and our talents in other ways. And so, as you know, on the Goldbergs, we started a band, and we've kind of kept that going, and now here Lainey is, years later in the 90s, playing a music teacher. It's pretty neat that music became something that was formed into our characters, knowing full well that was something we did, but the showrunners didn't necessarily know that was something that we, excelled in. And so it was neat that they saw that was something that was a talent of ours and kind of pushed that for future episodes. I'm glad that they did that because Haley is so talented, and it's really fun to play music with her.
Well, I know you just had some new music out earlier this year. It's great you're able to keep the music career going kind of on the off days with your acting career.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It's not easy, but it's really fun to balance between the two. I mean, my sister and I have released 2 EPs in the last 2 years, and we've toured, during the hiatuses. We went out and did 20 cities last year and 40 cities this year, and did a few shows in Europe, and we're going to go out again November, December for seven shows just around the West Coast. And yeah, I take advantage of hiatus weeks. I'm really lucky. We have a schedule where it allows me to have moments where I can work on music, and I happen to shoot in LA, which is kind of the hub of our music, so I'm able to really take advantage of that as much as possible. Just, the last few days I was in Berlin shooting a music video because it was a hiatus week, and now I'm back. So it's like just taking advantage of moments like that, as crazy as it sounds. I'm willing to just go back and forth between the two and just get rest in between.
That is excellent. And I know in addition to all that, you're also the voice of Katra on the new Shira cartoon. That's awesome. That's definitely goes in line with the Goldbergs and Schooled for sure.
Thank you. Yes, it does. I'm definitely a girl of the 80s and the 90s, and it's really an honor to play that role. There are so many people that care about, that original cartoon, and I think Noelle Stevenson, our showrunner, has done a really wonderful job at recreating the Shira life. I'm so happy to play Katra. I love playing a villain on TV. It's really fun, and it's such a departure from Lainey, and I'm really proud of this cartoon. It's something that everyone can watch. It doesn't really matter what age you are, which is awesome.
Excellent. Again, AJ, thank you so much. I'm a big fan, and I'm excited for the new season of Schooled, and I'm going to catch you on Shira as well. So thank you for your time today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You bet. Thank you.
Thanks. Have a good one.
And again, that was actress AJ Michalka from Schooled, from the Goldbergs, from the new Shira cartoon. She plays Katra. And, of course, her music career is flourishing as well, so a lot of stuff there from AJ. And, again, the new season of Schooled is on now, Wednesday nights on ABC.